got 7 pitches. Predominantly the cutter. He'll sink it. He's got the 4-seam fastball, curveball, slider, split, and a sweeper. That's called the kitchen sink.
And a couple of misses here. That cutter elevated to Friedel. What do you do when you're facing a man with that wide an arsenal?
Say you got to throw it over the plate. That's what you say. It's got to all come right over the plate. You don't worry about it. You just say, he's got to throw a strike. That's what it is.
Friedel having a breakout year. He was 0 for 4 yesterday, but he's now hitting a career-high 300, 6th best in the National League. He's top 10 hit on base. Rope to right, fair ball, base hit. Gathered quickly by Frelick. Friedel flies into second, and he scoots in standing with a double.
Just like that right there. Cutter. Very comfortable hitting speed, sitting at 88, 89 miles an hour on that cutter. TJ Friedel is having a heck of a season.
That's his 11th double. It's already the 2nd highest single season total of his career. It's June 2nd. Now Gavin Lux, who leads the Reds with 14 doubles, checks his swing. Appeal confirms he win. Slider, strike 1. Fouled away. Both Matt McLain and Santiago Espinal are out of the starting lineup today. They're the 2 most regular Reds batting second on the season. Lux has filled in as the leadoff man a couple of times when Friedel has been given a blow. But I would imagine look for them to be in at some point during the game. The Brewers have 4 left-handed relievers. Situational matchups could be big later in the play. Savali making his 3rd start since missing almost 2 months with a left hamstring injury. Gave up 1 run in 5 innings Tuesday against the Red Sox. Curveball strikes out Lux.
That vertical drop on that pitch right there. That's the swing and miss stuff. That's a good pitch. 77 miles an hour. With some good spin on that breaking ball.
Elly De La Cruz, 2 hits, a 2-run homer. He walked and scored twice yesterday. He is top 10 in the National League in homers and RBIs. 4 of those bombs have come in his last 8 games. He appears to be heating up, and he's best at home and batting left-handed. Larger lead for Friedel. Sharply sent beyond Friedel into left center. Wave is on. Scoop by Churio in center. Fire to the plate. And Friedel scores. Hard base hit for Elly De La Cruz. Reds strike first. It's 1-0.
Wow. That's exactly what I was waiting for Mr. Elly De La Cruz to get an RBI and score the first run for the Reds after he sacrificed his sister last Saturday. Oh, man. So look at this, you guys. So this was the headline on June 1st. It says here that with heavy heart, after his sister's death, Elly honors her with a homer. He hit a home run yesterday in memory of his sister, who passed away from health complications, according to MLB.com. It says here that Elly De La Cruz received terrible news that his older sister had passed away on Saturday insisting on playing Sunday's game versus the Cubs. The Red shortstop then went out and did something special in her memory, like hitting a home run, right? Very special. Yesterday also the Cincinnati Reds, they lost 7-3 in the game, tributed to his sister who passed away the day before. And of course in Gematria, sacrifice equals 73. But notice, this is what I want you guys to notice. This is how sick this stuff is, right? So he wrote this phrase on his cleats. It says R.I.P. Manita, which is actually Spanish for R.I.P. sister. And notice it has the gematria of 142 and 61, right? The tribute to his sister was yesterday on 6/1 on June 1st. And notice the 142, the guy plays for the Cincinnati Reds, right? Cincinnati Reds equals 142 using the alphabetical order. And what's also interesting is that yesterday, notice he was born January 11th, 2002. From his last birthday, the day he turned 23 years old, to yesterday's tribute, it was the 142nd day of his age. And then he hits a home run tributed to his sister on the 142nd day of his age, who he's calling Manita. And again, he had R.I.P. Manita all over his cleats and on his hat. All right? And then, of course, the Reds lose 7-3, like how sacrifice is 73. Stuff is sick. And you know what else is also disturbing? They're saying that he's going to play until Wednesday, because Wednesday he's supposed to travel to the Dominican Republic and attend her funeral. Now this is what's interesting about that. Notice from his birthday to June 4th, the day of the funeral, 144 days. And guess what Elly De La Cruz equals in Gematria? His name is 144 and 54, just like Jesuit order. The sick maniacs behind all of these rituals, right? So think about that. And keep in mind that he wears the number 44 as a player, right? We know the word kills 44. And if you write out 44 as a word, it equals 144 and 54, like his name, Elly De La Cruz, and Jesuit order. So he will be attending his sister's funeral on the 144 days after his birthday. Keep in mind that 54 is a very important number to baseball. I won't be surprised if maybe today the Reds win 5-4. Maybe. We'll see. Yeah, but I did expect them to have a big game today. And that's a good way to start the game. You know, I think he scored. Did he score a run as well? Yeah, Elly De La Cruz a third. Okay, so he's at third. How does he at third where they scored 2 runs? Oh, yeah, he scored. Okay, he scored. Yeah, Elly De La Cruz, he scored. Yeah, so he got an RBI, and he also scored a second run for the Reds. Perfect. Perfect little script. Stuff is sick, you guys. People sacrificing their family members. And, there's no doubt who's doing this stuff. I mean, look how perfect his name is with Jesuit order. It's perfect. The guy who wears the number 44 for the Reds.
Benson had a base hit, was 1 for 4, and a strikeout yesterday. Curveball strike. And Benson and Savali spent extended time in the Cleveland organization together. First time they have faced each other in a big league game. Tops one foul.
So her name was Genelis Genellis. Not sure. I'm not sure how you say that. G. Genellis. The Genellis De La Cruz Sanchez says here that she died after a extended period of health issues, according to reports out of the family's home nation, the Dominican Republic. Man, these people are something else, man. And here it is. You see, these are the cleats he was wearing yesterday. It says R.I.P. Manita. Of course, that equals 142 like Cincinnati Reds. And, yesterday was the 142nd day of his age. Had a big game yesterday. Got a big game today. Opened up the first inning with an RBI. And scored a run also for the Reds. See that? 23 years old and 140 days old. 141 days old. Of course, yesterday was the 142nd day of his age, but they're not going to tell you that. He became the fifth youngest player in Reds franchise history since 1990. Well, since the 1900s to hit the 50th home run of his career. Let's take a look at the home run here for the sister. I didn't get to see yesterday's game, but stuff is something else, man. These people are wicked.
Fair ball. Home run, Elly De La Cruz. Well, that must have been a misser.
He made the score 2-5. Really? When the word death is 25. Top of the sixth inning, huh? The 85th pitch of the game. Okay, so the first inning is over. Okay. Yeah, so let's see what else. Cause I'm just I just did a brief decode on this stuff earlier today. So I'm trying to see if today's game is also going to be tributed to maybe in the record or something like that. They do have the 2-0 lead already, which I was expecting to happen. That's why I was playing the first inning while he batted up to see what happens. Okay. That was also his 50th home run of his career, right? The 50th home run of his career. He should be in his 51st soon, right? Cincinnati equals 51. Trying to figure out if it'll happen today. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know because he's supposed to play the next. I think he's gonna end this series. Let's see. Because Wednesday, I think the Brewers, they're not gonna be playing the Brewers anymore. Oh yeah, well it'll be the last game of the series. So yeah, he's supposed to leave on June 4th, the 144th day of his age. Actually, 144 days after his birthday. So we'll see. We'll see what happens between today and tomorrow. And keep in mind, her name is Gina, whatever it is, but her first name equals 37. Yesterday's score was 3-7 against the Cubs when Chicago was also 37. I think her name is just like Chicago, actually. Yeah, it is. Or is the Cubs? That's 71. Wait, her name is 37 like Chicago. 35 like Chicago. That's what it is. Her name is 35 and 37 like Chicago. Yeah. Yep. Speaking of Judge Water, today's the 153rd day of the year, right? Judge Water 153. She supposedly died on Saturday. Which was 140 days after his birthday. Or 20 weeks after his birthday, and death is 20. Okay. All right. So, yeah, I just wanted to cover that, you guys. Somebody asked me to look into this guy's sister, and yeah, it's more the same thing. More the same thing. He's gonna be attending his sister's funeral 144 days after his birthday on Wednesday, when the name Elly De La Cruz is 144. He wears the number 44. When you write out 44, it goes 144 like Jesuit order. And we got the news of his sister's death yesterday, 140 on the 142nd day of his age. The Cincinnati Reds number. All right, you guys. Take care, you guys. Thank you for joining us. Please hit the like. Yeah, Brewers equals 73, but the thing is, yesterday he wasn't playing the Brewers. He was actually playing the Cubs. Yeah, he was playing 37 viewers. Wow. Sure. All right, you guys. Thanks a lot. Hit the like, please. Share the video. And, oh, yeah, Wednesday equals 44. That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point. And it's also 37, right? I was trying to locate her birthday, but I couldn't find that. But I think we've seen enough, though. All right, you guys. I'll leave it there. Enjoy your Monday. Peace. Thank you for joining us.